I think that's 4 now that I've said Oppenheimer. Sweep, sweep, sweep. It's happening. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And it is Oscar week, our favorite week, even though it's in March. And I already have plans to give everything to Dune Part 2 next year, but it's okay, we're here. And I will be making my final predictions for the 2024 Academy Awards. It's exciting. I think there's a lot of things that are up in the air. We could get a sweep. Like it's a big deal this year, I think. And we're 4 years away from 100 years of Oscars. That's going to be so special. I cannot wait for that year. That's going to be amazing. But we're going to deal with this one. So right now, I'm going to start at the bottom here, as I always do. I'm using Variety right now with their list. Okay, so for visual effects, we have The Creator. We have Godzilla -1. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and Napoleon. Without getting into how much I dislike Napoleon, it shouldn't be there. I do think it's going to be between The Creator or Godzilla -1. I would love if they would give it to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 just for the last time for those characters, especially for Rocket Raccoon. I thought the CGI for him was absolutely incredible. But I am going to lock in The Creator for visual effects. And next we have film editing. Okay, this one's a lock, obviously. We have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Jennifer Lame just won for cinematography for the DPs at that awards ceremony. So I had locked in Oppenheimer a very long time ago, and she absolutely deserves this win. I think she'll be the third or fourth woman to win for editing. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been it's been a very long stretch where we haven't had a female winning editor. So I think that this is going to be something special for Jennifer Lame to be added to that list. Of course, with the queen that is Thelma Schoonmaker, that's like an amazing thing to happen. So I think that Oppenheimer is definitely taking editing. That's a lock. That's number 1 for the sweep, if we're really looking at it. Where are we here? 3, we have production design. We have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. All of these are stellar. All of them. However, if Oppie is sweeping, it could take something like production design. You know what I mean? Because if we look at what happened with All Quiet on the Western Front, it just swept all the tech categories, and we all thought that like Babylon was going to win score and do this and do that. And like it took a lot of awards away from other films. So you don't know if like Oppie's going to do that. But for production design, if Barbie's not going to win anything but song, I do think that it should win for production design. But I would like, Poor Things to at least get one thing here. Just one. I want Poor Things to win 1 for tech, but I do think it's going to Barbie for production design. I'm going to lock in Barbie for production design. I don't know if other people have Barbie for production design, but I'm going to go with that. But it's between Barbie and Poor Things. And like I said, if Oppenheimer's sweeping, then it's most likely going to take it here. But yeah, Barbie's locked for me for prod design. Next, we have, went too far. We have makeup and hairstyling. We have Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. This is going to go to Oppenheimer, 100%. As much as I would love to see Maestro win something, this would be what it would win for. But I am locking in Oppenheimer because obviously they had to age Cillian Murphy, they had to age Emily Blunt, and they did that quite effortlessly. They made Cillian Murphy look like he was in university as well, but he has incredible facial features and he still looks like he's 20, so that wasn't that hard. But they should definitely give it to Oppenheimer. Again, Maestro would be a lovely surprise here, but I'm locking in Oppie. I think that's 4 now that I've said Oppenheimer. Sweep, sweep, sweep. It's happening. Next, we have animated feature film. Now, we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I don't think Across the Spider-Verse is going to take it. not with Miyazaki there. And I've heard with the precursors, I've seen with the precursors that The Boy and the Heron has been taking more of this category than Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So as much as I want to lock in Across the Spider-Verse, I'm probably going to go with The Boy and the Heron. I really do think that it's going to win over Spidey. Yeah, I think if Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was like sweeping all the precursors, then I'd be like, that's a lock, but it's been pretty divided. So I'm going to go with The Boy and the Heron for that one. Next, we have International Feature Film. Now, it's Capitano, Perfect Day, Society of the Snow, The Teacher's Lounge, and The Zone of Interest. All of these are fantastic films in their own way. Society of the Snow completely scarred me and should definitely be nominated here. I do think that The Zone of Interest has to win this. Obviously, it's nominated for Best Picture, but I really cannot see it taking either director or like BP. If it's not going to win any of those, I really do think it's going to win International Feature Film. Ending to Zone of Interest has stayed with me, and it's one of the most devastating endings this year that I've seen. It's powerful as hell. Zone of Interest, I can definitely see winning International Feature Film. Next, we have Documentary Feature Film. We have Bobby Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, 4 Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Mariupol. I think that 20 Days in Mariupol is going to be a lock. 4 Daughters is also fantastic. The Eternal Memory is really good as well. But I do think that 20 Days in Mariupol is going to come out on top for Documentary Feature Film here. So that's a lock. Next, we have Live Action Short Film. We have The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. I would love to give this to The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. 100%. I really would. But I heard things about The After and I heard things about Invincible. But if Wes Anderson's ever going to win anything, I think it'd be really special for him to win for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. And next we have Original Score. This is kind of a lock, in my opinion. Other people don't think that. We have American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Would I love Killers of the Flower Moon to win because of Robbie Robertson? Absolutely. I loved that score. I thought that was the heartbeat of the entire film. It was really good. But Oppenheimer is just incredible work from Ludwig Göransson. I do think it's a lock. I think this is the 6th one that I've said that it's a lock. If it doesn't go to Oppie and it goes to Killers of the Flower Moon, I'd be perfectly okay with that. But it's definitely going to Oppie. Next we have, where are we here? We have Best Sound. All right, sound's going to be hard. We have The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. It needs to go to Oppenheimer, but I can see The Zone of Interest taking this. I don't want Zone of Interest to win this one because I thought the sound in Oppie was absolutely fantastic. The sound mixing, sound editing, really, really strong. I mean, the Trinity scene alone, just incredible what they did with it. Prime example of why it actually should win. So I'm locking in Oppie, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zone of Interest takes it. Next, we have Costume Design. We have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Again, if Barbie or Poor Things are going to win anything, it's going to be in costume design, production design, and obviously the song. I do want to give it to Barbie. I think Barbie had great costumes, but Poor Things had such like a richness to their costuming, and it was very obscure and boxy and weird for the actual film, very unique to the film. But the costumes for Barbie, they were very accurate to the costumes that we had, obviously, for the doll back in the day. Some beautiful pieces were brought together. This is hard. I think I'm going to lock in Poor Things for costume design. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Barbie takes it. So it's between the two of them. Next, we have Best Song. Best original song we have here. We have The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. We have I'm Just Ken from Barbie. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Waze Waze, a song from My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. And What Was I Made For from Barbie. This is going to Billie Eilish, hands down. The song's everywhere and everyone loves it. Everyone cries when they listen to it. It is the song of the year for movies. And I don't think that Billie Eilish is too young to have a second Oscar. Why not? If she's this talented, let's celebrate her. But yeah, it's going to go to Barbie. I'm very excited to see Ryan Gosling perform on the Oscar stage, I'm Just Ken, because I have a feeling we're going to get some surprises with that number. It's not just going to be him. We're going to get other people. Please bring Ryan Reynolds on stage because that would be hysterical. Just because I love Ryan Reynolds and I think we need an excuse to have Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds on the same stage sharing something. So that would be a lot of fun, but it's definitely going to What Was I Made For? So that's a lock. Next we have, it is cinematography because I can tell by the names. We have Best Cinematography. We have El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Hoyt van Hoytema, my man, you are winning. Oppie's winning cinematography. And if it doesn't go to Oppenheimer, I can kind of see Maestro taking it. I could also see Killers of the Flower Moon taking it, but it's definitely going to Oppenheimer. For cinematography, that's a lock. I don't even have to go on about it. That's 6, 7, 7. My prediction for Oppenheimer is that it's going to win 10 out of the 13. That's my prediction. It's going to be 10. I know that's crazy and it's ambitious, but we're already at 7 right now. So what does that tell you? Okay. Next, we have original screenplay. We have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives. As much as I want Past Lives to win because it absolutely broke my heart, I don't think it's going to win here. As much as I want The Holdovers to win for its brilliant script, I don't think it's going to win here because Anatomy of a Fall is the best structured procedural I have seen in a very long time, and I will keep saying it. The way this thing unfolds is just masterful. I absolutely loved every second of Anatomy of a Fall. It's going on the Criterion Collection, and I'm very excited to pick that up eventually. But if Justine Triet, unfortunately, is not going to win Best Director, and it's not going to win Best Picture Anatomy of a Fall, they have to give it original screenplay. Period. So that's a lock, is Anatomy of a Fall. And I would be very surprised if The Holdovers takes it over Anatomy of a Fall. Very surprised. Next, we have adapted screenplay. This one's a bit harder. We have American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I think American Fiction is the front runner here, but I genuinely think that Oppenheimer should take it because the American Prometheus book is almost like 1,000 pages. And for Christopher Nolan to read that, condense it into a 3-hour film, and then literally get into Robert Oppenheimer's head and just nail the detail of both hearings and make a film the way that he made it. I do think that Oppenheimer should win for screenplay. And if it is going to sweep, I do think it'll take it. You'll see early on with these categories that if, Oppie's going to be the big one of the night, then it'll win. But they can give it to American Fiction, of course. I'm not saying that they can't, but it's those two. But I have a feeling I'm just going to lock in Oppenheimer for adapted screenplay. Because I know when a movie is winning big, then it tends to get a lot. And there's 13 nominations, so I'm hoping that they divide it elsewhere. But I can see certain things being taken away from Oppenheimer, and that's fine. There's some great films this year for sure. Next, we have Actress in a Supporting Role. This has been locked since the very beginning, and I know people get mad when they're like, but the precursors aren't over yet. Listen, no one's touching Divine Joy Randolph. No one's touching her in The Holdovers. It's not happening. She's won everything. It's a lock. I don't even have to talk about the rest of the nominees. They're all fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But that is who is winning. and has been winning since the very beginning. I already knew she was going to take it. Next, we have actor in a supporting role. We have Sterling K. Brown, Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling, Mark Ruffalo. No surprises here, honeys. RDJ's been a lock since the second I walked out of that movie theater in July. He's winning, and it's a deserved win. I saw a tweet the other day that pissed me off royally. Okay? Someone said that Robert Downey Jr. is the Jamie Lee Curtis of this year. I'm sorry. Did Jamie Lee Curtis carry half of the movie in Everything Everywhere All at Once? No. Robert Downey Jr. did, though. This isn't a legacy win. I don't like when people say that. I genuinely don't consider this a legacy win. I look at his performance in Oppenheimer and I'm like, this is some of his best work. We're so used to him as one character, as being quippy and sarcastic and fun and all of that, but like we got someone completely different here. And RDJ did that, okay? This is one of his best performances next to Chaplin. Forget about Tony Stark. Forget about it, okay? This is his film just as much as Cillian Murphy's. And he carried half of it. He really did. So I don't want to hear that it's a legacy win. I don't want to hear it, considering who's nominated here. Would I love to see Mark Ruffalo win for Poor Things? Yeah, he was absolutely hilarious. I think he was great. Do I think Ryan Gosling should win an Oscar for Ken? Absolutely not. No. Robert De Niro has 2. He's fine. I love seeing Sterling K. Brown here. Don't get me wrong. I do. But for me, it's RDJ since last July. I said he was going to take it. It's been a lock. I don't want to hear it's a legacy win. I don't want to hear that people are mad that he won, especially with the caliber of film that it was. If it was for a film where his performance wasn't that strong, then I'd be like angry to the point of what Jamie Lee Curtis did in Everything Everywhere All at Once. But he didn't do that. So let's put some respect on RDJ's name going into this like Oscar day, this Oscar Sunday. Let's put some respect on it because the takes that I've been seeing, I'm just blown away by it. I don't get how you can watch Oppenheimer and not think that it's one of his best. Like, he's winning. I'm sorry if you have an issue with it, but he's winning. There's my rant for Robert Downey Jr. Next, we have actress in a leading role. Y'all got mad at me last time for saying this, but I do think that if Lily Gladstone wasn't supporting actress, we would not be having a final battle right now. I don't know who's winning. I don't know who's winning. I know that Lily Gladstone has a slight edge on Emma Stone. Again, I personally think that Sandra Huller had the best performance of the year, but she's not winning. So I'm going to lock in Lily Gladstone because that's just the way it's been going. But I would not be surprised if Emma Stone takes it at the last second. Would not be surprised. I do think that that's what's going to end up happening. But would I be pleasantly surprised if Lily Gladstone wins? Absolutely. So next we have actor in a leading role. We have Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman Domingo in Rustin, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. I think that Cillian Murphy is a lock, especially after the SAGs. I do think that he is going to take it. I would be very surprised if Paul Giamatti came out of nowhere with The Holdovers, even though he's only won, I think, 2 precursors, I want to say, and then Murphy's been taking it. So Cillian Murphy for sure. I'm going to lock him in for Oppenheimer. I think it'd be a great tandem to have Murphy and Gladstone as our winners. Truly. Next, we have Best Director. Best Director, we have Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Would I love to see Justine Triet win for Best Director? Absolutely. I loved Anatomy of a Fall so much. However, this is Christopher Nolan's year. And it's finally Christopher Nolan's year. He is definitely taking it. No one is taking anything from him. This is his time. And you could feel that it's his time. And I am over the moon ecstatic that we get to celebrate this win with him on Sunday. I'm very excited for him. He deserves it. I think it's been long overdue that he wins something. But Oppenheimer's the one. Oppenheimer's the one. Yeah. So I'm giving that one to Christopher Nolan for sure. Next, we have, oh my God, we're here. Best Picture. I don't have to go through these. You know, it's American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, This Isn't Moving, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. When I say it's going to Oppenheimer, it's going to Oppenheimer. Nothing is taking Best Picture away from Oppenheimer. We know this. We know this. So I'm locking in Oppie. I can't see anything else beating Oppenheimer for Best Picture. I'd be very surprised if that ended up happening. But yeah, those are my picks, guys. Those are my predictions. Please, let me know in the comments below if you agree with my predictions, if you think my backups are fair, if you think that we're going to get a tie, because that would be hilarious if we get a tie. Let me know how many wins you think Oppenheimer's going to get out of the 13 nominations, because mine right now, I'm sitting comfortably at a 10. But you guys let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMXND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And if you guys want to help me grow this wonderful channel, you can find out ways to do that in the bio below. I'll catch you guys next time. Happy Oscar Sunday. Enjoy and keep watching movies.